Hello friends, we are learning the multi-threading and its paradigms. We know that the multi-threading is a conceptual programming paradigm where a program is divided into two or more subprograms which can be implemented at the same time in parallel. So we know that in most of our computers the single processor is used, and in reality the processing is doing one thing at one time. But in multitasking programming, many programming tasks are initialized with the computer, so it may have the multiple modules which will be run, and the processor is switched between processes, so it appears very fast and they are done simultaneously. So multi-threading is having a good a good advantage of Java programming. So most of the animation and gaming programs, the multi-threading programming approach is used. So the Java provides built-in support for multi-threaded programming concept, and the multi-threaded program contains more parts, two or more parts, which will run concurrently. So there are two types of multitasking. We know that first is a process based and second is a thread based. A process based multitasking is a program that is executing multitasks at a time and features which allows the computer to run two or more programs concurrently. In thread-based multitasking environment, the thread is the smallest unit of dispatching code. This means that the single program can perform two or more tasks simultaneously. Thread is very similar to a program that has a single flow of control. It is a beginning, a body, and end. It executes command sequentially. Multi-threading enables to write very efficient programs that make maximum use of CPU, and because of idle time it can be kept to a minimum use of CPU. So this is especially important for the interactive networked environment in which Java operates, because idle time is common. Let us see the life cycle of a thread. We know that the thread can have multiple programs which will run at the same time or simultaneously. So a thread can be one of the 5 states. According to Sun Microsystem, there are only 4 states in thread lifecycle in Java. That is new, runnable, non-runnable, and terminated. There is a no running state, but for better understanding the threads, we are explaining here it in 5 states. The life cycle of the thread in Java is controlled by JVM, that is Java Virtual Machines. The Java threads states are as follows. First state is a new, second is a runnable, third is a running, fourth is a non-runnable, that is blocked, and fifth is a terminated. So during the lifetime of the thread, these states will be entered in the thread. The thread is always in one of these 5 states. It can move from one state to another via a variety of ways. So these threads can be of 5 states. These 5 states are the particularly a lifetime of a thread. We know that is newborn state. Second is a runnable state. Third is a running state. Fourth is a blocked state, and fifth is a dead state. So implementing of these all states, let us see how the life cycle of a thread will work. See here that at the right hand side there is a figure which shows the state transition diagram of a thread, and at the left side there is a description of each and every state. The first state is a new state. The thread is in the new state if you can create an instance of a thread class, but before invocation of start method. So new, that is a newborn state. When we create the thread object, the thread is born and it is said to be a newborn state. So first is a newborn state. The thread is particularly not yet scheduled for running. At this state, we can do only one of the following things, that is we can do with the newborn state, that is it will scheduled for running using start method, or it will be killed using stop method. So the downward arrow shows that newborn state is started, and at the right hand side there is a particularly arrow shows that there is a stop method. So these two methods only used for the newborn state. Okay, the second is a runnable. The thread is in runnable state after invocation of start method, but the thread scheduler has not selected it to be the running thread. So second state is a runnable state. The runnable state means that the thread is ready for execution and is waiting for availability of the processor. That is, the thread has joined the queue of threads that are waiting for execution. So this is only a runnable state. That is not, it is not run, but it is only in the state, that is it is in the state of waiting the availability of the processor. If all the threads have equal priority, then they are given slot for execution in round robin fashion, that is first come first serve manner. The thread that relinquishes control joins the queue at the end and again waits for its turn. This process is assigning time to threads is known as time slicing. So what is this runnable state? Runnable state means that there is a state, the thread which is ready for execution and it is waiting for the availability of processor. The third state is a running state. The running state, that is the thread is in running state if the thread scheduler has selected it. What is this? Running state means that the processor has given its time to the thread for its execution. The thread runs until it relinquishes control on its own and it is preempted by a high priority thread. A running thread may relinquish its control in one of the following situations. So there are there are situations, some situations, that is the three situations which are actually worse with the running state. So what is that situations? First situation, that it has been suspended using suspend method. So it will be having suspended using suspend method. A suspended thread can be reviewed by using the resume method. The resume method is not shown in the figure, but even though it is worked. This approach is useful when we want to suspend a thread for some time due to certain reason, but do not want to kill it. The second, particularly a control, and the situation is it has been made to sleep. So running state make you can sleep them. You can put a thread to sleep for a specified time period using the method sleep, where time is in milliseconds. So whenever we come to know that running state is running and processor is available, in somewhat reason you can sleep that running state. This means that the thread is out of the queue during this time period. Which time period? That is the sleep time period. The thread particularly re-enters the runnable state as soon as this time period is elapsed. When the sleep time is completed, it is again re-enters in the runnable state. It will be in the runnable state, not in the running state. The third, it has been told to wait until some event occurs. This is done by using wait method. So this is done by using wait method. The thread can be scheduled to run again using the notify method. So notify method is not shown in the figure, but even though it is working with the particularly running state. The next state is a particularly a non-runnable state, that is blocked state. This is the state when the thread is still alive but is currently not eligible to run. So what is that? The blocked state. A thread is said to be blocked when it is prevented from entering into runnable state and subsequently in the running state. This happens, the thread is suspended, sleeping or waiting in order to satisfy certain requirements. A blocked thread is considered not runnable but not dead and therefore fully qualified to run again. So that is the block state, that is the idle state. So this will not work. This will not work by entering into runnable state. So it will be shown in the notify in the figure. So blocked state will work subsequently in the running state, and this will happen with the thread which is suspended or sleeping or in waiting in order to satisfy some requirements. The next and the last is a terminated, or you can say dead state. A thread is in terminated or dead state when its run method exists. So what is that dead state? Every thread has a particularly a life cycle. A running thread ends its life when it has completed executing its run method. So it is a natural death. However, we can kill it by sending the stop message to it and any state and thus causing a premature death to it. a thread can be killed as soon as it is born, or while it is running, or even when it is not runnable, that is in the blocked condition. So anyway, in the right hand side, the figure shows that from the every state you can use or you can stop your thread and you can kill the process. That is, the stop method will be executed in every state. Okay. Okay, thank you very much.